Scott Goodyear, Chuck right in behind Unser Jr. He's waiting about a car length and a half behind Al Jr. Al Jr. now lengthens it out. He's trying to hold him off. Goodyear low, Jr. high. They go to 4, Bob Lamy.
Unser Jr. has the lead. One more turn to go. Here they come. Coming to the finish line. Bob Jenkins, who's going to win it?
The checkered flag is out. Goodyear makes a move. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
Which led to one of the all-time great lines, "You just don't know what Indy means." The man that authored that, and as the winner of the 1992 and 1994 Indianapolis 500-mile races, joins us now. It is Al Unser Jr. Good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Hello, Greg. I'm doing great.
What is the month of May like for you when you come back here every year?
Gosh, it's dreams come true. I mean, it's so gratifying to come back here as a winner, you know, and have that title before your name, Indy 500 winner, and it's just so special. I mean, it's really hard to describe. You know, I put my life into it, dreamed about racing at Indy since I was like 8 years old, and seeing Dad have success here and then Uncle Bobby having success here, it just was something that I just wanted so bad, and it finally came true in 92.
Listen, when they put your likeness on the Borg Warner, that's a hell of a way to be remembered. But they named a roundabout after your dad today. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, I think that's awesome. I just, you know, my dad, well-deserved. I mean, he was a 4-time winner. He used to lead all laps of all time until Scott Dixon came and knocked him off of that one. But, you know, Dad was a great race car driver and well-deserved to have that roundabout out front named after him.
Of those that are in the series now, who are the guys you have a relationship with? Who, if any, do you kind of talk to on even a semi-regular basis?
Not too many, you know. Scott Dixon is a favorite of mine, and you know, all of the guys. Connor Daly is another one that we talk to, but not really. I mean, everybody there. This is a whole different generation of drivers. So
fair enough. And obviously, you know the stat that's been bandied about, that it's the first time since 1957 that there's not a Foyt, there's not an Unser, nor there's an Andretti in the field. Just your thoughts about that statement.
Well, I think that comes to fruition with Marco Andretti. You know, he was upholding the family name there for so many years recently, and with him not being here, that takes the Andretti name out of it.
Right.
You know, the Foyt name came out of it quite a while ago, and then the Unser name came out. But you know, Marco was carrying the flag for the Andretti family for many years.
For those that don't know, you're not at every IndyCar race, but you're at a lot of them through a program called Vintage Indy. For those that don't know, tell our listeners about it.
Sure. Vintage Indy started out as a registry of past car owners that have purchased the cars from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. There's a bunch of different car owners that buy them, and they want to drive them. They want to go out and drive their favorite car, and so the Vintage Indy, we go to selected IndyCar races. I think we're going to 4 of them this summer, and the drivers get out there, the owners of these cars, and they drive around the racetrack. It's exhibition only. We kind of simulate a race. My duties are driving the pace car, and I drive the Dallara EXP as the pace car. And so we get out there, and the drivers go around and gives the race fans the history of what the IndyCar is all about. And these gentlemen, they're gentlemen owners, okay, and they just love IndyCars and IndyCar racing and the history of it. And so, getting out and talking with these guys, I can tell you, Greg, these cars are polished and rebuilt better than they were when they were brand new. They're absolute pieces of jewelry is what they are. And the owners just love it. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Unser Jr., our guest, Greg Rakestraw, filling in for Jay Query, 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. When you said history, it triggered this thought in my mind. And frankly, this is, for you, happened since 1992 on. My assumption is that you've been to the refurbished IMS museum. What is it like to walk in there and see like something that is yours, whether it's gear, helmet, race car, trophy, etc.?
Right.
What's it like to walk into a museum and point and go, "Hey, that's mine"?
Hey, it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling, and with the refabrication of the museum, it's awesome in there. They've done such a great job with the museum and that sort of thing, and to go in there and just see the history and how it's all changing up, and it's great to see. And I honestly, I go in there and I go straight to my dad's race cars and Uncle Bobby's race cars and Mark Donahue, his race car is a favorite of mine, and just absorbing the history of this place is overwhelming, really.
Is there a driver from back in the day? And obviously, when you're following your dad's footsteps and your uncle's footsteps, you've got that family tie. They're going to look out for you. They want to race. They want to beat you on the track, but they're going to look out for you. Who are the other drivers back in the day that served a mentorship role to you?
Oh gosh, AJ Foyt, Mario Andretti, Gordon Johncock helped me an awful lot. Johnny Rutherford helped me an awful lot. Uncle Bobby, although he was retired and I never got to race against him, he helped me an awful lot. He mentored me. And then, of course, there's my dad who
Sure.
mentored me the most.
Of course.
Yeah.
Again, Unser Jr., our guest, Greg Rakestraw, filling in for Jake Query here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. This week is, up until Carb Day, is all about driver appearances. Do you have any appearances where people can come meet you and say hi and interact with you between now and race day?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we will be at the memorabilia show, the Embassy Suites in Plainfield. I'll be out there Thursday from, I believe, 3 o'clock to 4:30.
Okay. So go check out check out Little Al Thursday from 3 until 4.
Yep, and then we've got the normal responsibilities, the old timers dinner, the Hall of Fame dinner. Tonight we're going to be going to the motion picture of Bobby Rahal, an American racer. They're previewing that, so we'll be out at there. So yeah, it's just kind of like your normal activities.
Now, without letting the cat out of the bag, you don't have to have an excuse to have Little Al on the show the week of the race. But I will go as far as saying this. He and I are working on a project together. There is a chance you hear the two of us on a seemingly more regular basis. I certainly hope so. So, again, I don't want to give too much away. But I am going to kind of put you in the analyst chair. Tell me your thoughts about this race. Obviously, limited practice yesterday. First incident of the month yesterday. I think we all feel pretty confident about hopefully Alexander Rossi being able to take his starting spot and run come Sunday afternoon. Any overarching thoughts you've got about this field in this race heading into it?
I've been thinking about it, Greg, and there's my favorites. There's my heart of drivers. The first one is Graham Rahal. I hope he gets his first victory, and the reason for that is because Bobby Rahal is such a good friend of mine, and also he would be a son of a winner to win.
Right.
And so right now, it's only my dad and I, and I would just be so proud to have Bobby Rahal and Graham Rahal as the second father-son winners. And then of course, Connor Daly. Connor Daly's looking really good. Okay.
Yep.
I'm not just saying that because he's local. I'm saying that because I was watching him in practice, and his car's really, really good in traffic. And so that's what the 500's all about, is being in traffic these days, and just I mean, I was thinking about it. Okay, somebody on the front row is going to win, but you can go 8 rows deep. 9 rows deep, and the winner can come from there. Okay, so you just never know about the 500. It's if you're in it, you can win it, and it's just simply that. But and proof of it is my father in 1987
right.
Qualified in the back of the field and came charging through there and won the race, and so. Yeah, I mean, you just never know. It just all depends. The one thing that I truly, truly hope for is that it's a safe race.
Of course. When you see a guy like Alex Palou and the run that he is on, what other seasons, drivers, teams, etc. When you see Alex Palou, Al, what comes to your mind?
What comes to my mind, honestly, is Michael Andretti won 8 races, and I believe it was 1991.
Correct.
And just had a fantastic season. I won 8 races in 1994 and just had a dominating season. And so with Alex Palou, it reminds me of those years. It reminds me of my dad in 1970. He won 9 races in a season. And so, there's these seasons that it just seems like no matter what you do, the race car goes faster. And, Alex Palou is on that wave. And so, him being on the pole, like any pole winner, they're the favorites to win the race.
You lived this growing up and watching your dad and uncle race. Then for 25 years, not every year, but close to it, you were part of the race. It's now been about 20 years since you were last in the 500. What is race day like for you? What will the experience be like for you watching on Sunday?
Watching on Sunday, okay, this always happens to me, okay? When the drivers are in their cars and they sing Back Home Again in Indiana, and then, Roger gets up there and says, gentlemen, start your engines. When those engines fire up and they start to leave the grid, my feeling in myself is, man, I wished I was out there. Man, I really missed that. And then they go around on their parade laps, and then they come around and they get the green flag, and they all go charging into turn 1. My thought is, man, I'm glad I'm not out there.
I think the next interaction that Al and I get to have is when I introduce the legend laps at about 10:45. Like the end of my 5-hour PA shift is when he takes the track in the back of a truck to be celebrated as a 2-time Indy 500 champion. I hope that's on his docket. It'll be on mine coming up on Sunday. Thanks for the time, my friend. I'll see you soon.
You got it, Greg. Thanks so much.
You got it. Al Unser Jr. And again, I don't let the cat too far to the bag. He and I we got something working. So hopefully more information about that in the very near future.